Rulebook. Objective of the game. The objective of the Landlord's game is to accumulate as much wealth or money as possible by the end of the game. The player with the greatest amount of wealth after a certain predetermined number of circuits around the board is declared the winner. Components. 1. Game board. A board divided into various spaces or sections, including 4 central spaces labeled bank, wages, public treasury, and railroad. 2. Movable pieces. 4 pairs of dice, 4 shaking boxes, 4 checkers, and boxes representing bank, wages, public treasury, and railroad. 3. Various colored chips or tickets. Representing lots, money, deeds, notes, individual mortgages, bank mortgages, charters, legacies, and luxuries. Setup. 1. Each player starts with $500. 2. 22 lot tickets are placed face down on the board. Each player draws 1 ticket until 12 have been taken. The remaining tickets go back into the wages box. 3. Players look at the tickets they have drawn and can purchase the corresponding lot if they choose and can afford it. If not purchased, the ticket is returned to the wages box. 4. Once the lots have been bought or refused, and deeds placed upon the purchased lots, the game begins. Gameplay. 1. The board spaces are colored to distinguish them, but other means of distinction can be employed. 2. Lot spaces 1 to 22, preferably green, can be bought at the marked price or rented at the marked rent. Players must pay the price or rent into the public treasury and place their deed on the lot if they choose to buy. 3. Absolute necessities spaces, preferably blue, represent essentials like bread, coal, shelter, and clothing. When a player stops on any of these spaces, they must pay $5 into the public treasury as indirect taxation. 4. No trespassing spaces require the player to go to jail until they throw a double or pay a $50 fine to the public treasury. When released, they start counting from the space immediately in front of the jail. 5. Railroad spaces require the player to pay $5 to the railroad. Throwing a double allows the player to jump from one railroad to another once. 6. Luxuries spaces, preferably purple, require the player to pay $50 to the public treasury and receive a luxury ticket, worth $60 at the end of the game. The luxury can be purchased or skipped, losing the player's move. 7. Franchises spaces, preferably yellow, indicate light franchise and water franchise, and the first player landing on one places their charter on it. The owner can tax other players $5 when they land on the franchise. 8. Public park space allows a player to stop without paying anything. 9. Legacy space grants the player $100 cash and a legacy ticket. 10. Mother Earth space grants the player $100 wages after each circuit around the board. 11. Poorhouse space requires the player to go to the poorhouse until they can finish the round. 12. Rent is paid to the lot owner when another player stops on their property. In case of multiple players on the same lot, the second player pays half the rent to the first player. 13. Borrowing is allowed from the bank or other players with a mortgage placed on the property for every $100 borrowed. 14. 5 times around allows players to move in either direction if they are clear of debt until all players have been around the board 5 times. No more wages are received after passing the starting point 5 times. 15. The game ends when the last player passes the starting point 5 times. 16. Counting up. Deeds, cash, and luxuries are counted to determine the player with the largest sum total and the winner. Variations. 1. Playing without lot tickets. Players purchase lots as they land on them in the ordinary moving. Each player starts with $100. 2. Emergencies. If any emergency arises not covered by the rules, players must resolve the matter among themselves. Refusal to obey the rules may lead a player to jail or a fine.